How to write an effective song. Having a direction when you're writing a song is really important because it means that you know where the song's going and your listener can also follow the journey along with you. Drawing on real life experiences is a great way to accomplish this. It means the situation actually happened and it will be more relatable for that reason. For example, I wrote a song about my treehouse and building my treehouse and how everyone always wants a treehouse, like it's every child's dream. So I thought I could relate relationships and the treehouse together to make a really nice song on how sort of as trees grow around tree houses and relationships grow as the people get to know each other more when they get older. I thought that was really nice cohesion between those two subjects. This also means having two key ideas from real life experiences means that you can describe the scenario, describe the setting, describe the characters in your story, even if they're yourself, like still describe yourself, describe the other person, describe what happened. The best way for me to show you how to write a song is just to break down one of my own. So let's break down this one. So when you first sit down to write a song, you need chords that are going to fit the topic of the song. So I wanted my treehouse song to be a really happy song and almost very wholesome in the way that it sounds, because treehouse is like a childhood dream and then a really comfortable relationship. It's all it's a wholesome situation. So I wanted the chords to reflect that, and I thought, oh, what's more wholesome than a really basic C chord? I'll just put the capital on because it's better for my voice. There you go. That's two chords that work really, really well. That's good because that's got intricacies within the chords, meaning that it's sort of like branches that go in between. So I'm already talking about a tree within the music. First, I'm going to set the scene by describing the scenario, how I met the person, and relating it back to the treehouse idea, because that's going to be the main core of the song. First met was 13, strong bass with green leaves, you have a smile that's beaming, but on my favourite CD. So that's the first part of the first verse. So first met was 13, that just sets the scene. How old was I? You know, you could already picture what that's like. Strong bass with green leaves. Strong base, meaning base of the tree with green leaves. You know, it's a tree. You've got the strong base, meaning that sort of foundations. I've just met her. This is where we're building from. You have a smile that's beaming. So smile is sort of the innocence of being younger and the innocence of, you know, just meeting somebody. Putting on a CD is a really sort of relaxing thing to do. It's something that I would do in my treehouse, and it's just, you know, it's an activity that is wholesome. It's just listening to music. It's good vibes. It's good times. 16 in a hotel, attitude like, oh well, then you go and I'm just building my treehouse. That's the second half of the first verse. So 16 in a hotel is like, oh, okay, we've grown up. Attitude like, oh well. So it's sort of, you're in a weird phase of, you know, you're a teenager, you don't really understand who you are yet. Then you grew and grew is obviously trees grow, and like trees will grow around the treehouse, but also grew and grew is in 13 to 16 to now an adult. That melds together very well. And I'm just building my treehouse is sort of that's the when you feel home. That's the core of what the song's about. That's the first sort of revelation. So I'm going to repeat that throughout the song to make you feel like you've come back home. Quickly, if you're liking the video, make sure to leave a like and also subscribe. It helps me out a ton. Also check out my shop. It'll be the first link in the description and maybe even the comments if I remember. The pre-chorus, sing, oh, I owe it to you. Oh, I feel my way through all my life I'm into, and I'm just building my tree house. That's the repeat of the I'm just building my tree house. So this is also about a relationship in terms of, oh, I owe it to you. Well, I owe it to you because I want to have the best view. It's a very wholesome idea of, okay, yes, we could have a house, we could have a family, and we could have a tree house with the kids. Like, it's that sort of vibe. The oh, I feel my way through line is sort of, I'm going to do whatever it takes to get there. All my life I'm into you, you know, that is what it says on the tin, basically. I'm just building my tree house. Returns back, you feel home. The next bit, I wanted to make the chorus really wholesome and really tie the whole song together, as a chorus should. So you'll give that a listen. A lot of it will be very self-explanatory, but you can definitely use this in your songwriting, because if you've got an idea and a direction and an experience to call on, you'll be able to draw in listeners and create a lovely atmosphere around your music. Since I was a child, I've been dreaming every night for the right girl in my tree house. Every time she walks by, I feel like in my mind I see must take the right time when she finds herself home. Since I was a child, child, I've been dreaming every night for the right girl in my treehouse. You know, that it ties in the treehouse, it ties in the relationship. Those ideas go really well together because it's all very homely, it's all very comforting. And then the second half is just sort of, I'm looking for the right girl, I found the right girl, and I hope I can spend the rest of my life with her. Verse 2. Now in verse 2, you want to build off of everything that you've laid the foundations for in verse 1, the pre-chorus and the chorus. If you've got pre-chorus, if not, just verse 1 and chorus. I decided to take this verse in the direction of describing the girl a little bit more and introducing the characters and building on what we've already made. Let's start off with the good looks, and canopies make me feel good. You're my silver lining, we laugh and chill in the treehouse I'm in. I mentioned the treehouse at the end of that line, again, just to make you feel home, remind everyone this is sort of a cohesion of ideas, and we're talking about a treehouse and still sticking along the same storyline. Start up with the good looks, that's just, you know, she's a good looking girl. And canopies make me feel good, so canopies are like a little food item that you get in events sometimes. Canopies are also in trees. I was so happy when I wrote that line. You want to find double entendres that you can throw into a song because they really draw this, like they make everything sound more mystical and more exciting for the listener. You're my silver lining. The girl's silver lining. I've struggled to find her, now I found her, she's the silver lining. But also there's silver linings around clouds. Now in England there's clouds all the time, especially where I live, so building the treehouse I saw my fair share of clouds with silver linings, so that ties that idea in together for me. We laugh and chill in the treehouse I'm in, you know, that brings it straight back. So sticking with the wholesome theme, the next few lines stray away from the treehouse, but they still fit the story. She likes meeting when the sea is calm, drinking beer, playing guitar, and we see the tide in waving, bathing westward facing. Oh, and straight into the pre-chorus after that. Back to the chorus, everything's the same. Maybe build tension in terms of the way that you introduce it, so maybe put more energy into the pre-chorus and have the chorus really punch. Now the third verse is where you want to change everything up a little bit. This can be stripping everything back or really pushing and maybe even putting in a key change. For this song I decided, fitting with the wholesome feel, I don't know how many times I'm going to say wholesome in this video, I decided to strip it back a little bit, lower my voice and make it sound like it's just a private conversation you'll be having between me and the girl. I look at the view, then I look at your face, sat next to you, start to misbehave. We should stay up all night, look at the stars shine so bright. Go abroad to the seven seas, sitting on the beach eating ice cream now. Got something on my mind, if you like me, come back to mine. I might live halfway up a tree and wake up to the sound of the green leaves. So I'll just sit, play my guitar, birds they sing both near and far. That all fits in with the treehouse theme. It's, you know, it's summed up the song. You feel like you've gone on a journey. We've introduced the characters. We've introduced where we are. We've learned a bit about the two characters. And now with that verse, everything feels like it's sort of been resolved. We've come to an ending. And then we just go back into the pre-chorus and chorus. However, the final chorus is going to be louder and feel like, oh yes, it's almost like a celebration of everything that we've achieved. We've built the treehouse. We've got the relationship. We've got the family life that we wanted. All of these ideas put together mean that the song is what I wanted it to be. The final line of the chorus is, and we find ourselves home, which is really nice because that ties everything back together. And then we go into the riff that I started with. And that is basically the end of the song. I actually sing the final line with the melody. Finds herself home. Because that's a clear ending for the audience and your listeners, as well as the riff that's been going throughout feels like home. If you've benefited from today's video or you thought anything I had to say was a good idea, let me know down below in the comments. Also leave a like, also subscribe, it really helps me out. If you wanted to buy a t-shirt or a hoodie, it keeps me afloat, it keeps the channel going, it supports me in more ways than you know. There is a link to the website in the description and the comments, if I remember. But if not, no worries, thank you very much for watching and I hope to see you again next Saturday at 8 AM. Goodbye!